let's talk about Star Trek. So my daughter very generously took me to Star Trek Beyond on the weekend, and it's very similar to the 2009 reboot of Star Trek.
It isn't uncommon, you know. It's easy to get lost in the vastness of space. There's only yourself, your ship, your crew.
Same sort of ideas, and those ideas are taking something old and making it new. So was it successful? Was it really Star Trek? Let's find out. So starting out with the acting, so you've got actors pretending to be Spock and Kirk from the original series and the others, and overall I think their acting was very good.
What the hell is this?
Although I always find some of their acting a bit unnatural because they're obviously deliberately trying to act like the actors from the original series.
Fear of death is illogical. Fear of death is what keeps us alive.
Whereas the actors in the original series were trying to act like characters and bringing their own shine to it. But these guys are trying to act like those actors, if you get it. But still, that's okay. It's alright. Get to re-experience the original series, I suppose, of Star Trek.
I think you're underestimating humanity.
Hold on to something! Will! Do it!
But the thing I like about science fiction is new ideas, things that stimulate the mind in a way you think, oh wow, what if? Wouldn't that be really cool? And then bringing in philosophy and so forth, and also a sense of wonder, I suppose. In the case of all of the Star Trek movies, and particularly this one, they're very special effects heavy, lots of action, lots of jumping around and doing impossible things like in any action movie. And the so-called science of the science fiction isn't really there. It's basically space opera. Lots of punch-ups, shooting. In the case of Star Trek Beyond, it was the usual jail escape thing. And the person who helps them out of jail, of course, her family were killed. And yeah, so this version of Star Trek was full of cliches. Every Hollywood cliche you could possibly imagine seemed to be in there.
They're boarding us.
Abandon ship!
I know why you're here. Why we are all here. Our captain will come for us. Mercy will be the last thing on his mind.
I am counting.
The dialogue was pretty jaded too. Now I know that sounds terrible, so did I actually like it? Well yeah, I did. It was lovely for my daughter to take me, and we're both very keen on Star Trek. I think, though, the best thing about it was how they sort of alluded to the previous series. So unlike a lot of so-called Trekkies, I really liked Star Trek Enterprise, and I liked how there was a ship called the USS Franklin that was very similar to that ship. But I suppose what annoys me about the new Star Treks is it's so over the freaking top, you know, like, you know, they do engineering things, but they just do utterly impossible things. I mean, they pushed it a lot with a lot of Star Trek, but doing absolute seemingly impossibilities. Oh, this ship was never meant to fly in an atmosphere, so we'll just break it out of the side of a mountain through sheer engine power, float it down a cliff, and wow, it flew. Who would have thought? It's just, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, another movie I saw was the BFG, or Big Freakin' Giant, or whatever it is. whatever it is, big friendly giant, with my other daughter, and it wasn't bad. I only fell asleep once. Yeah, the special effects, just like with Star Trek, were absolutely wonderful.
I was hearing all the secret whisperings of the world.
Amazing. I have no problem with CGI. CGI is fine. But where CGI is a problem, I suppose, is where it's used as a substitute for acting and story. In the case of BFG, yeah, the special effects were great, but I don't know, the story seemed a bit dumb. I think maybe I'm getting old. Perhaps that's the problem, and I've just seen everything and done everything. But then again, I read books and things, and they seem really interesting and fresh to me, so I don't know, maybe it's a matter of choice. And there are some movies that I really like. None coming to the mind at the moment, but I'm sure I'll think of some. Anyway, that's the end of my somewhat uncharacteristic long rant about movies. I really did like, you know, the parts of Star Trek where they sort of alluded to the fine heritage of Star Trek, so I thought that was cool. But I just find the Hollywood just fist fights and bashing and utterly ridiculous saves and things just annoying, not fun. Why can't they just have small, well, relatively small things? We're not millions of people are at stake, but maybe the whole ship is at stake and everyone's going to die, as opposed to the whole planet and gazillions of people and all this sort of stuff. Anyway, that's enough. I think this has gone on long enough, so I'll see you later. As I walk along here, sometimes I see something pretty extraordinary and pretty funny, kind of cool. And there's something like that coming towards me right now. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. Morning. Pretty cool.